lifestyle. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo, and today we have an interesting topic. Today we're going to talk about the subject of she caught her man cheating with another man. Yeah, that's right. That's what we're going to talk about today. Unfortunately, in today's day, there are situations where women, unfortunately, will be in a situation where their man is either cheating with another woman, but in this case, another man. So, what advice do I have in a situation like that? I'm glad you asked that question. I know certainly most people or most women would say, if they caught their man cheating with another man, the relationship is over, which is pretty much what you would do. But there are certain situations where people might resort to forgiveness or whatever the case may be. Now, there are different strokes for different folks. I don't know your circumstances or how you do what you do or your religious background or belief system, but things like this do happen. And my hope is that the advice given can somehow help you out in your walk. Now, so you're in a relationship, you discover that your man is having some sort of affair. You assume it's a woman, you're prepared for whatever you're going through, it is what it is. Come to find out, your man is actually dealing with a man. It's a rough situation. It's probably worse than you actually thought it would be, but under those circumstances, you have a choice to either end the relationship immediately, or you can resort to forgiveness and somehow reconciling back together. Perhaps maybe he's going through a phase, or I don't know exactly what's going on, but it depends on what you want to do. Now, first course of action that what I suggest you do as a woman is to look at the value of the relationship in terms of are children involved? Do you have children? What exactly is at stake here? What will be lost if you were to leave? Because your first initial thought under those circumstances is, this man is having an affair. This man being your husband or your significant other, boyfriend, whatever the case is. He's having an affair. Come to find out it's with another man. You got to look at, if you were to leave the relationship, exactly what would be lost in the process. Because when a relationship is torn and broken, typically there are losses. So if you were to leave your husband, your man, because of the affair with another male, what exactly is being lost, and is it worth leaving? Now, I know initially your emotions have been totally shocked. You're literally losing your mind at this point. You're hurt in many different regards, but what we want to focus on is advice that can be given to all parties involved, because again, this isn't a one-shot deal. Some women are actually in love with their husbands and so forth. Some women will feel like, maybe I can change him, maybe I can get him some help, maybe I can try to understand what the situation is and kind of figure out what went wrong. So you have a choice. You can either leave the man and the children now suffer, the household suffer, you suffer, or you can forgive, try to restore the relationship somehow, and openly have conversations with your husband to figure out what went wrong or what exactly is happening in terms of him desiring to be with another man in regards to being with you. So it is what it is. Like, you have to talk about these issues and figure it out. Like, my stance on the issue here is pretty much that a man is supposed to be with a woman. It's just that simple. That's my personal belief on how things are supposed to go based on nature. What I'm focused on here is trying to give some sort of advice to situations that may be a little difficult to talk about, and hopefully people can gain the strength to get through it. A lot of times we may laugh and mock at situations, but things do happen. There are a lot of women who've been in relationships with men and turn out that their man is gay or on the DL, or maybe he might be bisexual, and it just came out of out of the news that, her man is doing X, Y, and Z, and she's shocked. She's even more hurt because in her mind, she thought that, okay, maybe he's with a woman, but he wasn't with a woman the whole time. He was with a man. So it's like, damn, here you are thinking your man is cheating with a woman, and he's with a man that is, it's one of them situations where it's like, your first initial action is you're leaving. At the same time, I would suggest looking at what's going to be lost, right? And examining, are you willing to give all of this up? Or are you willing to work it out, somehow find out what went wrong? How long was your man thinking like this? Is he into men? Is he into women? Is he bisexual? You as a woman, you have to pretty much figure out what's going on so that you can make a better choice for you and the children. Because if this is something that he's doing on the low and he's not planning on stopping, then it can have a drastic effect on you, especially when it comes to possibly sexually transmitted diseases and so forth. Because if he's out there engaging in sexual activity with men, he put you at risk. So even though your initial decision would be to leave, which is what I'm more leaning to, I would suggest you get out of a situation like that. At the same time, I know that everybody's situation is different, and some people may be able to work around difficulty. These are one of the things you would learn in relationships, is that in relationships, it's not just about lovey-dovey-dub and everything is good. You got the good, you got the bad, you got the ugly. There are different situations that happen in relationships, and the stronger you are, you're able to work around the problems you might be facing. So under those circumstances, if you caught your man cheating with another man, your first thought is to end the relationship, leave, get out. That's cool. If you want to do that, hey, it is what it is. I suggest that you understand that if he was a man and he's working and he was the one providing, are you prepared for the difficulty that might be ahead? Are you financially ready to move on? Do you have access to funds that will give you at least a year or two to pretty much floating so that you can be in a better position with your children and so forth? Also, you got to look at custody issues between the father and you, possible court issues. It's a lot of stuff that got to go down if you were to break up. So count the costs before you make that move. Also, protect yourself by not engaging in sexual activity with this man under any circumstances until you sort this thing out. Perhaps go through a spiritual cleanse, getting some counseling, talking to other people that might be in a position where they can offer some sort of sound advice. Normally, under those circumstances, people are going to break up because they're hurt, they're angry. But at the end of the day, you got to look at the bigger picture so that you make the best possible decision for not only yourself, but for your children and even for the man that you were with. If you love him and you really appreciate him and you feel that it's a possibility you can work this out and overcome these issues, then I would suggest you do that, because it just shows that you're a woman of compassion and you actually have a good character and you're willing to forgive. So if you're willing to forgive him and somehow get him the help that is needed, perhaps some counseling or whatever the case is, and you're willing to work through that, then that's a plus for you, because you are displaying the qualities that is really needed in relationships, and that is not to really throw in the towel and give up real quick. Because if he cheated on you with a woman, it's still a possibility to restore the marriage, to reconcile and do so forth. It's just that it's with a man, so it becomes a little more like serious, where you're like, whoa, this is your man, and here you are, messing around with dudes. So it's like, how long he been doing this, how long he been on the DL, how long he been hiding. You got to find this out. Maybe if he open up more and begin to share these thoughts, you may find out what is triggering these things in him, because you want to know from jump, like, are you into men or are you into women? That way he can decide, like, look, I would rather go this way and you could go that way, and everything is good. So at the end of the day, if you want to break up, hey, that's your prerogative. If you want to reconcile, that's your prerogative. I pretty much balanced it out so that you make the best possible decision before you even go down that road. Because sometimes our emotions will make us make a decision right away, which might be normal or the normal decision to make. But at the end of the day, you have to count the cost so that you don't put your kids in a position where they're now burdened because of your feelings on how you feel about that. You always look out for the best interests of your children. You know what I mean? Even if you had to separate for a time to kind of get your mind right, sometimes that might be the best course of action rather than just ending your relationship with a divorce. Sometimes just separating for a time, get counseling, figure out what's going on, you and him communicate. It is what it is. It's a tough situation, but at the end of the day, hey, it takes adults to actually work through the issues they have, because in this world, you have this type of problem. So it is what it is. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm going to sign out and catch y'all in the next video. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.